1. Our essential nature and its apparent failing. What else can we know for certain about this I from direct experience? We know for certain that I am present and aware. If I wasn't present, I wouldn't be able to hear or read these words. And likewise, if I wasn't aware, I would not be aware of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. So it is an undoubtable, self-evident truth that what we essentially are, what I essentially am, is both present and aware. These two qualities, apparently two, are inseparable from myself, inherent in myself, being and aware, or being and knowing. It is for this reason that I is sometimes referred to as awareness. The suffix ness means the presence of. So the word awareness simply means the presence of that which is aware. I is the common name we give to this aware presence. In this exploration of our experience, we don't suddenly become this aware presence. We just notice, oh yes, of course, I am not a thought, a feeling, a sensation, a perception, or a mixture of these. All these have been coming and going all my life. But I am the one that is ever present and aware of all these passing objects. We don't suddenly become this aware presence. We just notice that that is what we already and always are. So instead of considering yourself to be a thought, feeling, sensation, perception, or a mixture of these, that is, a mind and a body, feel and know yourself to be this aware presence. Our culture has educated and conditioned us to believe and subsequently feel that this aware presence that I am is identical to a cluster of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. That is, identical to the mind and the body. As a result of this imaginary identification, the simple knowing of our own being, its knowing of itself, is apparently veiled, and thus seems to lose its true identity, and to become instead a collection of objects. Thus, the awareness that I am seems to become a body and a mind. In other words, we overlook, or rather thought overlooks or forgets, this simple knowing of our own being, its knowing of itself, and imagines instead that what we essentially are is a cluster of temporary, limited thoughts and feelings. The belief and subsequent feeling that what I essentially am is made out of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions veils the self that I truly am, and replaces it with an imaginary self, a thought and feeling made self. Most people spend their entire lives serving the fears and demands of this imaginary self. This belief and feeling that what I am is identical to the temporary and limited appearances of the mind and body is ultimately responsible for the unhappiness in our lives and for the conflict we experience in ourself and between people, families, communities, and nations. And just as the original cause of unhappiness is the overlooking, veiling, or forgetting of our true self, so the ultimate cure for this unhappiness is to explore what we are and come to know ourself again as it truly is, the awareness in which all thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions appear, with which they are known, and, ultimately, out of which they are made.